Last week, we brought you part one of our look at the Evergreen Cemetery, which is located right next to our new Baxter Patrick James Island branch. We introduced you to family members of some of the people buried here, and they shared memories and discussed the importance of this site. Today, we will spend more time with staff from the Charleston County Public Library, who are documenting the Evergreen Cemetery's history.
I want to bring these people to the forefront so that we can know more about them.
Lish Thompson and Charlotte Smith work in the South Carolina History Room at the main branch of the Charleston County Public Library. They took on the task of researching as much as possible about the Evergreen Cemetery and filled 5 large binders with information. There are 261 marked graves and many more unmarked.
With the documentation process, we looked up funeral notices, death certificates when applicable, as well as a number of other different pieces. And I think with all that combined, it ended up being 51 unmarked with documentation. So there's the potential of 300 plus burials in that area alone.
Lish and Charlotte took photos of all the headstones and set to work researching the people buried in Evergreen Cemetery. The trickier part was learning more about the people in the unmarked graves.
The Charleston paper that's now the Post and Courier used to be the Evening Post and the News and Courier, and they combined to form the Post and Courier. It seems like they paid more attention in the Evening Post to the African Americans and lots more death notices and funeral notices in that paper than in their News and Courier. So you can look them up there, you can look them up on the census, you can look them up in the death certificates. If it was pre-1965, I think a lot of the death certificates can be found on Ancestry and Family Search. Discrepancies in dates and spellings required even more investigation. Some of the stones have some different dates, and so we would look up that death date first and then find out that it was either 2 years earlier or the spelling of the name was different. So it was quite a challenge to, there was some phonetical spelling on the tombstones.
But there is still a lot of information that is unknown, which is where the community can help.
The graves that are unmarked, there's so many of them, but a lot of them have flowers, and you can see different pottery shards and coins and all. So we know they've been visited. And so we really want to join with the community, get more information on the people that are buried there, and help them with their family genealogy and bringing the families together. So I think it's going to be a good community project.
In some fashion, maybe we want to treat what's happening in the cemetery like it's our own family, and we want to show that same respect to any family members that come to us with new information, because we care about the people in that cemetery, because we've gotten to know them for a long period of time.
Family members of those buried at the Evergreen Cemetery say they are very curious to dive into the research themselves.
So come understanding the use of the library, but understand that history has already happened. It's how you want to take the history, using the tools to go forward, knowledge and understanding who you are as the individual. You are an American, you got to understand and respect our history, but respect going forward with that history and making, again, adjustments to grow and build.
It is a special kind of feeling that you get when you go and visit a cemetery like that, to know that, 200, 300 years ago, you can connect to somebody that helped to bring life to you.
The research has about 1,000 pages of information about the people buried here at the Evergreen Cemetery. To access that research, go to ccpl.org and click on the Baxter Patrick James Island branch page. And I'll see you next Monday to meet your library.